Today, we're going to talk about something we all deal with: failure. We're usually taught to see it as the total opposite of success, a simple win or lose situation. But what if that whole idea is just wrong? What if failure isn't just a part of the path to success? What if it is the path? So let's just chew on this for a second. What if 99% of the entire journey to success is actually made up of failure? Now, I know that sounds kind of discouraging at first, but stick with me here, because this one little shift in how you see things, well, it's the key to unlocking a way more powerful way of thinking about your goals. To really get this, we've got to start with the foundation: what failure actually is in reality. And that means looking past that shiny finish line and seeing the messy, difficult, and often frustrating journey that leads to pretty much every great achievement. Think about it. When we see someone succeed, an incredible athlete, a brilliant entrepreneur, a talented artist, we're only seeing the highlight reel, the final 1% of their journey. We totally miss the massive, hidden 99%, all the countless experiments, the wrong turns, and the straight-up failures that made that 1% of success even possible. This quote from our source material just nails it. And notice the key phrase here: success arises because of failure. It's not some obstacle you have to climb over. It's the actual raw material you build with. Every single misstep along the way isn't a mistake, it's a stepping stone. So why do so many of us stop short? Well, it's because we fall into a classic mental trap. We see that little 1% of success in other people and we chalk it up to extraordinary talent or insane luck, things we're pretty sure we don't have. And so we get disheartened and just kind of resign ourselves to the idea that, well, maybe we're just not cut out for it. But, giving up isn't the only option. There's a mechanism, let's call it an engine of growth, that can turn that 99% of failure into pure fuel. So let's take a look at how this thing actually works. Now, what's so interesting here is the stark contrast. On the left, you've got the default human reaction: blaming others. Oh, the timing was bad, or that person totally messed it up. This road is a complete dead end. It guarantees you learn absolutely nothing and just repeat the same mistakes over and over. But on the right, that's the only way forward: self-responsibility. Accepting the outcome as your own, that's the starting line for any real learning. So how do you actually do this? Well, it's a 4-step loop, and it's pretty straightforward. First, you just acknowledge the outcome, no excuses. Then you confront it. You analyze what really went wrong with your approach. From there, you refine your method based on what you just learned. And finally, you progress by trying again with that new, improved method. This is the engine. This is what turns failure into fuel. And we really need to reframe this whole idea of being at fault. It's not about shame. It's not about blame. Just think of it as a totally neutral, necessary signal, kind of like a warning light on your car's dashboard. It's just objective feedback telling you, hey, your current method needs an adjustment. That's it. Okay, so you've taken responsibility. Now it's time to actually analyze the outcome. And the key here is learning how to separate the things you can control from the things you just plain can't. See, any outcome, good or bad, win or lose, is always a mix of two main ingredients. First, there's your ability, which is the stuff you control. And then there's luck, which you don't. The real skill is learning to be brutally honest with yourself about how much of each played a role in whatever happened. This table is fantastic for breaking this down. Just look at that first row: a success that came from low ability but high luck. That's not a moment for a victory lap. That's a moment for some serious self-reflection, because you basically just got away with one. On the flip side, if you fail, even though you had high ability, just because of terrible luck, well, there's no reason to get discouraged. The whole goal is to honestly figure out which one of these scenarios you're actually in. And doing this helps us avoid two of the most dangerous attitudes, the ones that completely stop our growth. First, becoming arrogant after a lucky win, thinking it was all you. And second, blaming bad luck for a failure, when in reality, your skills just weren't quite there yet. So the bottom line is this: luck is going to come and go. It's like a wave you can't control. So don't waste your energy on it. Instead, you need to concentrate all of your effort on the one and only thing you can actually control: getting better and enhancing your own ability. That's where the real work gets done. This all leads us to one last, really profound shift in perspective. Once you start focusing on your own ability, the whole nature of competition changes. You start to realize you've been competing against the wrong opponent this whole time. This is where most of us live. Our competition is external. Did I beat that person? Did I win the game? Our entire frame of reference is other people. But the mastery mindset completely flips that on its head. The new and infinitely more powerful question is internal. Am I better today than I was yesterday? And that changes everything. And you see this mindset in the true masters of their crafts. Someone like Shohei Ohtani might hit a game-winning home run, but still be unhappy if he feels like his performance wasn't an improvement over last time. Or the shogi grandmaster Sota Fuji, who's famous for his deep self-reflection after every single match, even the ones he completely dominates. Their goal isn't just winning, it's continuous, relentless self-growth. And this quote from our source material really puts a fine point on it. The race against other people is just a distraction. The real game, the only game that actually leads to mastery, is the one you play against yourself. Your past self is your only true competitor. So let's end by turning this back to you. Your last failure, whatever it was, wasn't the end of the story. It was just a piece of the 99%. So the real question is, what did it teach you for your next beginning?